So the Padres are now day off, final 3 regular season home games. Will there be postseason games at Petco Park? We believe so. The Padres, final 10 days of the season, push to the pennant race is underway. Good question you posted, John. Let's just debate this. Dodgers have the best record in the National League West. The Padres are 3.5 back with a week to go. Who's the most dangerous team heading to postseason? Because they're both going to be in postseason. Right now, if you're asking me right now, I think the Friars are the most dangerous team of those two. You got Arise leading the world in hitting, refuses to come out of the lineup. Machado has had a phenomenal back third of the season. Tatis looks like vintage Tatis. Jake Cronenworth's had a rock-solid campaign. Bench bunch has contributed when asked. And the starting rotation since the reemergence of the injured guys, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, joining a suddenly hot Dylan Cease, and obviously a trustworthy Michael King. That looks like a damn good rotation. And they're 7 deep on the bullpen, although I still have grave concerns about overuse of the closers on the roster. I like virtually every aspect of Padre baseball right now. The Dodgers, they got Ohtani going after 50-50. But do you know Ohtani's only hitting .236 in September?
Really?
There's so much pressure on Ohtani to go 50-50, home run, stolen bases. You got Mookie, you got Freddie Freeman, you got Will Smith, now you got Max Muncy. That collection's pretty solid, though they don't all hit simultaneously. The bottom of the batting order still is an issue. The bigger issue is, who are you going to trust in the starting rotation once you get to postseason? Because you got Jack Flaherty and you got Yash Yamamoto. And beyond that, you never know what you're getting from Buehler. And now the bad news, they just indicated Gavin Stone is not coming off the disabled list for postseason. The shoulder pain has returned again. At this point, there is no Kershaw. At this point, they don't know if Tony Gonsolin, who's had a couple of back-to-back rehab starts, is going to be able to make it before the end of the season. And then you got the guys in the bullpen who sometimes are good, sometimes are not good. I just don't think that the Dodgers are a complete baseball team right now. And by the way, exclamation point, I'm not homering for anybody. I'm just giving you the facts. Because those who want to pile on social media say, Hacksaw hates the Padres, he's always critical, or Hacksaw hates the Dodgers and the Dodger way is always critical. That's not true. I'm just giving you the facts as I perceive them. I think the Padres are the better team right now because they are healthy and they are hot, and the Dodgers, at this point, in those two areas, are not. End of speech. The floor is yours, John Riley.
Social media fans love to pile on you. You know, they're like, yeah, Hacksaw, you hate the Dodgers. You're always hating on the Raiders. Well, you do hate the Raiders, but you're always hating on the Padres. You're so negative, and people are always trying to decipher you as a sports writer. Are you really a homer for some team? I think it's funny.
If I can't figure it out myself, how the hell are you going to figure it out?
Yeah, it's just hilarious. So, you know, as a sports journalist, I mean, yeah, you're just reporting on the facts. And yeah, you got to admit, the Padre starting pitching, you see the numbers, the ERA, the whip, the strikeout to walk ratio for Cease, for King, for Darvish and Musgrove. I mean, even for Martin Perez is like really good. So
Darvish is 3.46 since he came off the DA. Musgrove is 2.43. Michael King's been a rock-solid 3.00 ERA guy. Cease is now, he's dabbling all the time with one-hitters and no-hitters. And to me, Perez is a stunner. I mean, his ERA is 2.72 since he got to San Diego. This was a guy that had a 6 ERA in Pittsburgh. And then you got 7 deep in the bullpen, more trustworthy most times than not. So what's there not to respect about the Padre pitching staff?
Well, it's just all nicely come together just at the right time. And, you know, there were times there where we were really worried. Darvish, we didn't even think he'd be back this year. And now everything is just really coming together. And boy, Michael King, when you talk about that Soto trade, that Michael King, straight up for Soto, you could almost make an argument for that. He's been so good. He's one of the top 5 starters in the National League.
Yeah, and one of the pieces in that trade, Drew Thorpe, went to the White Sox, and that begat you Dylan Cease.
Yeah, that's worked out pretty well for the Padres. But you're asking me who's more dangerous, Padres, Dodgers. I agree with you. It's Padres. But still, the Phillies are the most dangerous team in the National League, and they're the ones we have to watch out for. I just keep hoping there's a way for the Padres to squeak past the Dodgers, but the number of games are being reduced. I think the only way that happens is if the Padres sweep the Dodgers in LA and the next week.
Well, next week is obviously going to be huge because it's at Arizona for 3, then at Dodger Stadium for 3. And unfortunately, the Dodgers are opening a series against Colorado, and then they're playing Miami. So they get the break now, whereas the Padres had that break.
Hey, Colorado's a tough team, man.
No, Bud Black's a tough team who screws up everybody's pennant hopes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so that's your assessment of the Padres. What's your assessment of where the Dodgers realistically are, hater?
That's a mash unit, man. I mean, you're just rolling out all these guys. Like we talked about how the depth is extraordinary, but 80% of them are hurt. So you're always trying to find the 20% that are healthy with duct tape and baling wire like MacGyver. It's just insane how they're trying to juggle all those guys. And Kershaw, he's hurt again, isn't he?
Well, he's throwing, but he's not throwing off the mound yet because of the bone spur in the toe. How's he going to pitch in a game? I don't see how that's humanly possible.
Well, maybe he'll be able to avoid the military draft with that. But at any rate, the Dodgers pitching, I think if the Dodgers do win in the playoffs, then it's not going to be like a 4-0 game like we saw Padres Astros last night. It's going to be like 11-8, and Ohtani's going to have to get hot, and those hitters are going to have to mash more than the mash unit of the pitching staff.
Okay, so we're asking you on Fans Forum. You are participating. You are entitled to an opinion. But nobody, the thousands of people that are watching us on live stream, nobody's going to know your opinion if you don't jump into Fans Forum. You picking the Padres or you picking the Dodgers? You tell us. Get into the chat box now.